Hello there, Year 8. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to continue our studies. Central Europe, that is the part we are going to analyze a bit. And there's one mountain range which is basically like a link between or among 4, maybe 5 countries, because you will see that Hungary is also influenced by certain things by this mountain range. The name of the mountain range is Carpathians. The Carpathian Mountains. So let's have a look at this mountain range on a map. First, look at the shape of the mountain range. It's like a gigantic croissant. It has this arc shape. Arc means eve. When you use your compasses in your maths class, you can draw arcs. The Carpathian Mountains are mostly young ranges, but of course it doesn't mean that it does not have old folded parts, but mostly young folded parts are typical. Stretching from northwest Bratislava, which is Pozsony, to the Iron Gate, which is a narrow passageway on the Danube in the southeastern part. So Bratislava and Iron Gate, and that's the arc shape there. It's also an important thing to note that in Hungary certain parts are still here, the inner section. So this is why I mentioned to you that Hungary is also connected in a way to the Carpathian Mountains, not just the basin area, but the hillsides, hillocks and mountain ranges are there in the north too. Now please look at your workbook, page 54. I hope you can see that. And we are going to have the first 2 tasks now. Name the starting and ending points of the Carpathians. Northwest point, Bratislava, Pozsony. So please write it down. And the southeastern section, as I mentioned to you, the Iron Gate. The Hungarian name is Vaskapu. There's even a hydroelectric plant there, so this is why it's a symbolic important part in the south. So Iron Gate. Name the countries it crosses. If you can have a look at this map, you can easily see that Slovakia is there, the Western Carpathians basically covers the country, and Poland, just a tiny bit of the Carpathians is kind of stretching towards that, but still it's there. The Ukraine, Romania, and Romania has a rather significant part of the mountain range, the eastern section and the southern section as well. Hungary should be, to tell you the truth, also there, because the inner band of the Carpathians is right here in Hungary. So I would add a 5th line there in the workbook, and I would write that name there too. So Slovakia, Poland, the Ukraine, Romania, and also Hungary. Now, if you finished writing, then you can continue with me. If you check this little animation here, you can see lots of things about the formation of the Carpathian mountain range. Basically, the plates, continental plates of Eurasia and Africa is still forming the area. So it's a young folded mountain range, which is formed by the northward moving African plate landmass, and it is part of the Eurasian mountain range system alongside with the Alps, Pyrenees and many other mountain ranges. So it's a relatively tall mountain range, though not that much taller than 2,500 meters, so it's a bit shorter than the Alps, but still it's a young folded mountain range. What are the 4 distinct sections or bands of this mountain range? The word band here means övezet, because they have distinct stone formations there, so you can easily see how they are different. The first one is the sandstone band. Sandstone is homokkő, which is really different from sand because the particles are cemented, so actually it's a hard stone. The limestone band is the next one, mészkőövezet. The central crystalline band is the third one. This band contains, for instance, granite and other crystalline stones. And the inner volcanic band, but the volcanoes are not active any longer. You can watch an informative video about the region. Many Hungarians live in the Carpathians because Transylvania, Erdély, is partly there. So I think it would be a good idea to watch this. Not a short video, it's 47 minutes, but maybe we can just have a quick look. I will just start the video, and I would be happy if you could follow it at home. You can see the fantastic landscape of the region, plus lots of information about people, the geographical names, and many other things. So the film is called The Carpathians, Range of Mountains Forming an Arc. Interesting documentary films. I'm just going to start it here a bit. This is the title. So please find this one on YouTube and you can learn from it. Nice British English in the video. So let's go back to our presentation there. So hopefully you can see the image in a second. Now, where were we? So we finished talking about the different bands, stone formations of the Carpathian mountain range. Now let's move on. Yeah, this is the part we need now. Please look at your textbook, page 50, and there you can find the parts which I photographed there, and you need to underline certain things in the paragraphs. In the paragraphs, you can find information about the different names of the bands, the mountains, oh sorry, an N is missing here, peaks, rock formations, parts, passes. A pass is an area of lower land where you can easily get through the mountain range. So, northwestern Carpathians. They are settled mostly by Slovakia and Poland. They start from Bratislava and consist of sandstone, limestone, crystalline and volcanic bands. The highest point of this part is in the Tatra mountains. The Visegrád, Börzsöny, Cserhát, Mátra and Zemplén volcanic mountains in Hungary belong to this volcanic band. The northeastern Carpathians. These mountains are mostly made of sandstone. The Polonian Beskids are the highest parts with broad and gentle tops that are covered by meadows. The volcanic Ukrainian Carpathians rise steeply for 600 and 900 meters. Its surface is determined by massive broad ranges and picturesque volcanic rings and cones. The river Tisa's sources here and its tributaries divide the mountains into different parts. Important passes are traditional routes between the mountains, such as the Veretsky and Uzsok Pass. Eastern Carpathians, they are located in Romania and are made up of volcanic crystalline limestone and sandstone rocks. The highest elevation is 2,303 meters. Their inner rim is formed of the longest chain of volcanic mountains in Europe, for example, Hargita, Guti, and Bodog. Southern Carpathians. The Southern Carpathians offer the highest peaks, Moldoveanu and Negoy, and more than 150 glacial lakes. Numerous passes and the valleys of the Old, Zsu, and Danube rivers provide routes and railways through the mountains. The Fogaras Mountains are the highest, largest, widest, rockiest, and most impressive mountain range in Romania. So hopefully you could find the names of the different parts, and I would like you to take a photograph of the paragraphs because I want to see that you could really underline all the required information. Okay, then. So this is just a nice image taken there in the Carpathians. You can see that by midsummer the peaks are not covered by snow, just rarely. So snow melts there in the region. The climate is a bit different from the Alps. Just one more thing, in the southern Carpathians the sharp mountain ridges are typical. Actually, there are plenty of accidents happening here in this region, so you need to be a quite experienced climber if you want to visit this part. Now please complete page 54, task 6 in your workbook. This was done once by one of the students. Not too nice book, but I really appreciate the little hearts there. So please write down the parts. Now stop the video and do not cheat. First use an atlas and write the names there, and then you can check. Number 1 is Northwest Carpathians, number 2 Northeast, number 3 East, 4 South, and the rivers are there from letter A: Danube, Tisza, Vistula, Prut, Dniester, and Szeret. The river Szeret has a very nice name, but it's a Romanian word, not a Hungarian one in this case. The climate, as you can see, the picture was taken probably in early spring when the slopes still have snow. Later on, snow melts. The climate of the mountains is determined by altitude, of course. Can you remember? We learned that when you were much younger. First there are deciduous trees, and then they disappear. There are pine trees, and then they disappear. Then there are mountain pines, which are much smaller than traditional conifers or other pine types. And after that, there's a region which is full of meadows, so trees disappear, too cold, not enough precipitation in terms of liquid water in winter, plus too cold for plants. So finally you can just find the rocks and snow. In winter, temperature inversion occurs. Valleys are colder than slopes. As cold air is heavy, there are just few peaks over 2,500 meters. So extensive snowfields, glaciers and bold peaks are rare in the Carpathians. Now, please turn to page 55 in your workbook. There's task 3, 4 and 5 there. I would like you to complete the tasks. You can always use your textbook, and the text can help you, page 50 and 51. If you finished page 55, task 3, 4, 5, please take a photo of these tasks. I would like to see that you really worked hard on these tasks, and you can send me these. So, keep up good work. After learning a lot, you can relax. Bye-bye.